It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Jordan Hanhilammi.
And this is It's Movie Time.
All right, good to be here.
I fished around to all my guests, and I said, you know, Jordan's the one who has to help me with this movie.
Jordan loves the drama.
and partly because I know it is not as well received. I think I liked it more than most people. And my job, our job, is to promote movies that are worthwhile.
Sure.
So I thought, Jordan can balance me out if he wants. But anyway, it's called Don't Worry, Darling.
Mm-hmm.
Even the title would tell you we're going to have trouble.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this has been, drama inside and out and all around with the making of this movie, the marketing,
oh my gosh.
The release of it. All that being said, a strong first weekend that definitely got people in the theaters. However, whether it was Harry Styles or all the off the set and on the set drama and stuff we heard about, that people are starting to see it.
And the director is Olivia Wilde. So as we move into back talk, we're going to not have that many films to discuss about with Olivia Wilde, since she has only one other.
Yep.
What would you say? All right, so George, set it up for our audience. They don't have any idea. Don't Worry, Darling. What is this?
So we are introduced to early in the film. At the outset, really a very colorful and very distinct 1950s set with people having cocktails and having fun, kind of what I think kind of present day are, especially people like myself that didn't actually live through it, like our perception of kind of what that, and some of the fun side of like Mad Men and things like that.
That's right, yeah.
People having drinks and enjoying themselves and, friends and such. Florence Pugh is at the center of it, married to Harry Styles. And they all you get the impression they all work together, and they're friends, but also colleagues and such. But a very, very specific, stereotypical 1950s setting. After the party, the morning time comes, and all the husbands. You start to get that feel of almost like Stepford Wives, a Edward Scissorhands, like kind of the suburban neighborhood, and that. Where all the husbands are leaving at the same time, and they're distinctive cars, and the wives are out front to hand them their lunch and wave goodbye.
Sure, let me tell you, I lived through it.
Yeah,
and it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Though I'm amazed that they probably built the whole set. There's a street there, like a cul-de-sac,
right.
of all these houses.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I guess they'd be ranch houses and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're
kind of almost like a suburban Frank Lloyd Wright kind of.
And it's sparkling and it looks new,
and
you get an idea that maybe isn't quite real.
Yeah.
When you look at it, but boy, I'll tell you, it's close reproduction of when I grew up, and I was conscious at that time, a teen. My dad had just come back from the war, and things were indeed very good. For people looking nostalgically back in the day.
That's sort of prosperous. It definitely feels like a prosperous kind of setting with them.
I mean, we had Cadillacs and houses, and it was really a boom time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe because I was just a teen, it really, there wasn't much to bother us. We didn't have any wars. We had Korea coming up, but really we just didn't have anything to bother us after that war. And so glad to have had my dad back, who was in the medical corps. It was. There is that feeling that what's not real, George. That I mean, we're looking at this, and you've got Olivia Wilde directing it, and these glamorous people you talked about.
And then you just start to get that unsettling feeling, and we've had movies like this before where it's obviously there's something that's too good to be true about the scenario, and you start to get that feel from Florence Pugh at the center of the story. There is some sort of unease. There's something you're seeing, these quick glimpse flashbacks that they're too quick to know anything of what's happening, but there's something there that's stirring inside of her. And
they name her Alice. And I'm quite sure it's Alice in Wonderland, don't you think?
Absolutely, for sure.
Although there was a film called Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah,
wondering-
that's a good call. I didn't think of that one. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, oh, she's a marvelous up and comer.
She is one of my favorites. Yeah, she is, and she is, has a stranglehold of this part and the command of the screen. She can play, just all different parts of a role like this, where it's the fun, jovial. Doesn't even really seem fake the way that she plays the wife,
No, it
early
doesn't.
on and stuff, and but then can get dark and get dramatic.
She's
and all
really a good representative for us.
Mm-hmm.
As an audience, as we watch, as we begin to see things being revealed to us. Now,
Right.
this is a utopia.
Mm-hmm.
This is a typical dreamer's world
Yeah.
of 1950.
Yeah,
A
and you
perfect
start
society.
you start to get the understanding that there is there's references to Frank, and there's this central figure of the company they work for, the head of kind of the whole thing that they're doing out there.
It's not the Starship Enterprise.
Right.
This is Chris Pine.
Yep.
Who does, I thought, a terrific job.
Oh,
I love his cool in this
is
role.
reveling. Like he soaks up every inch of this role.
He's the
for
Jim
sure.
Jones of the
Yeah.
group.
Mhm.
He's the founder of this town.
Yep.
V for victory,
Right.
not vagina.
Right.
Although,
Correct.
might as well be
Yeah.
for these guys. But as you said, they're going off to work. I have no idea what they're doing out there.
Yeah,
Jordan.
and the wives don't really know much either, and they're meant to not ask too many questions.
know,
They're
I love it.
given what they're told is just the right amount of information about what the husbands do, but all they're supposed to be concerned with is cleaning the house while they're gone. And I mean, just this kind of absurd thought of someone like fully cleaning a house that only 2 people live in
Right.
every single day.
And she's
is
scrubbing the
hilarious.
tub
Yeah,
every day and
scrubbing the
singing.
tub,
and
singing,
singing.
making dinner, having it
Perfect roast.
yeah, perfect roast, but then providing, the appetites of all kinds
Yes,
for her
right.
husband as soon
Very
as he
well
arrives
put,
home.
yeah.
But there starts to be the cracks in the idyllic nature of what they have in the world they're in. So.
Jordan, what do you think? Now, to me, of course, I was going to like this anyway because I'm a big fan of Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And this seemed to me to be something that Rod Serling would put his
Sure.
stamp on and say, good going, boys. This is exactly the kind of moral tale I want to tell.
Yeah.
At the heart of it, now we have Frank here watching over everyone, and you have everything as you've described it. What seems to be the core sin of this place? The thing that's going to bring it down?
Well, there's obviously, while they attempt to address some of the, I guess you would say, maybe misogyny of this idyllic nature being centered on husbands'
Very good.
work
That's a
and
good one.
they're in charge, but they try to mitigate that with these, especially Frank giving these speeches of like how the women are just as important and they have to their support of the man is essential and all that kind of stuff, and it's supposed to be empowering, but obviously is not really, because these women aren't really doing anything.
It's sucking out their identity.
Yeah.
And it's done very smoothly,
Mhm.
very carefully, and I would tell you from the 50s you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
You'd say, oh, this is perfect, this is fine. Looking at it now, so many years later, we can see totalitarianism, we can see despotism, we can see paternalism, we've seen it all, we've gone through it all, so it's no big surprise to us. The way this is depicted, it takes somebody with that intuition that Pugh's character has, that seeing that it isn't quite right. I think this is, for me, and I guess even for you, this is the heart of this corrupt place.
Mm-hmm.
These are second-rate citizens, if they're that at all. The women,
Yeah.
who, not a bad day for them, right? A little shopping,
Sure.
a little drinking. Jordan, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's hard to we can say there's we're not going to spoil, but a big reveal, quote unquote, a big reveal later in the film that kind of opens up to where kind of some of this stuff that we're getting at now, where those problems occur and where the women may not be as content or whatever, and those things
That's right.
that they have potentially more to offer the world and to themselves and such, and they're not being as fulfilled as we, are made to think they're being.
Yeah, if you're a feminist, this is a good film for you. If you want something to back you up as to the long tradition that may even still exist, should we say?
Yeah, and that's where, I mean, I think, this film is great to look at, and one that I encourage people to see, because there, as you noted, there's a lot of things going on for sure. For me, it was a lot of style without a lot of substance in the end. But that being said, there is a lot to think about and stuff, and different people. It's definitely a movie that I think different people will get different things from.
And Jordan, you're so right. The 4 or 5 people that I went with,
yeah,
we had a long discussion afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Partly, what was that all about? Questions.
Yeah, sure.
But still, coming out of a movie, how many times do you engage in
exactly, and that's the most important thing, is especially today's day and age, is having an original story for people to talk about.
Yes.
It's not a comic book thing or whatever, stuff like that.
But we're practically stopped talking here for movie time. People are going to have to swing around and go to WCBE, the podcast experience, to hear us discuss further.
Yeah, please do. We got more to say.
Yeah, and don't worry, darling. So don't worry, audience. You can hear us on our podcast experience.
Perfect.
Back on.